Oh, testing 1, 2.
Hello.
Oh, people, we're back on my channel for once with this podcast. Well, one.
First, first time.
True, I've never even met this
Yeah.
man. He broke out into my house.
Yeah.
He's holding
Uh,
my
I'm,
my family hostage. He has a gun.
I'm the twin brother of the gaming mandrel who usually appears on these streams. Um,
Uh, so, so that explains your ugly mug.
yeah, he's the better looking twin. Sorry for the low energy tonight, folks. Just bit
Yeah,
run down. It's one of
it's
those weeks.
it's always a rough. It's always rough. Holiday season. I think everybody gets busy.
I don't my what I do for work is I don't think is affected by holidays too much. Uh, just leave it at
Well,
that.
yeah, because
I don't want to
prostitution
dox
is
myself too much.
successful year round.
And you wonder why I might not link this to my channel. I'll just keep it over here.
I was debating between accusing you of prostitution or drug dealing, but that's the one that came up.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's just like I think the collaboration feature is a nice tool. I just think my algorithm's already broken enough as it is. I don't think I need to add more confusion. But um, I definitely would appreciate being linked in the description if you did that.
Oh, right. I should do that.
Yeah, because I do think the collaboration feature is extremely useful if it's like something your audience would already be interested in. But like I don't really cover anime on my channel, and like I said, my algorithm already is confused enough as it is. I think for the time being, I'm gonna very selective of what I put in the collaborative feature tool, especially since it's still brand new and they're working out the kinks and all that. Um, Yeah, I do think overall it is a positive change for YouTube, which is very few and far between these days.
Oh yeah, a useful new feature from YouTube. That's like
Hmm. Unheard of
somebody was
almost.
sacrificed to get that to happen. There's somebody
Hmm.
with like a genie.
I mean, the wasn't that actually like one of those like really weird things where like this YouTube CEO like died in her 50s, like even though like she had like all the money in the world, it's just like it's just karma's a bitch. Because I mean, I don't know how she was as like an actual person, but as a business person, she was pretty ruthless.
That's
She was the
business for
reason.
you.
Her and Mr. Beast are the reasons that like YouTube got so corporatized.
Oh yeah, I do kind of. While we're just kind of waiting for things to pick up steam, I do dislike how that because I grew up so much with what I consider the real YouTube, which was like you just had these like random individuals that were like
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, I was in the era too. I mean, I was a little bit younger than you, but I still vividly remember that era of YouTube. Better times, man. Better times.
It's you can never go home again.
Yeah. Um. Ooh, this is a background's pretty nice. It's the I like how they made it red, so you kind of get like Kira and
Yeah,
L in there.
I
Is
was a
it's
I was
obviously L's logo, but it's like the red is obviously for Kira.
I was originally gonna put you on the right and me on the left, but then I saw the apple and I was like, no, I don't. I think that should be on the right, on the left.
Also, I'm the main character, bitch. I go first. But yeah. So we did the first 12 episodes on another channel. Um, while we're still for the time being continuing that podcast, we decided for time commitment reasons that we're going to finish out the Death Note series, just me and Rangi. You want to see the first 12 episodes? That'll be on Laughing Lulu's channel. The rest will be on this Rangi's channel.
Well, that's the thing with just collaborating with people, right? Schedules just don't work out. Uh, Anyone who's done a D&D campaign knows that.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a Baldur's Gate 3 campaign with effectively three people, and that's been taking forever. I mean, even the one with just me and you, we're not that far into it. We
To,
haven't
to,
even started the second act yet.
to be fair, we had it planned, and then one of our players just had major medical issues.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it's like honestly, like we probably would be going through it even slower. Although I think originally you said if three people can show up, we would roll with it kind of thing. But we never even had to really do that
Yeah,
because
I was originally gonna do that because that's kind of how I've always done uh
mm,
things like that.
yeah.
But yeah,
At
yeah.
some point, um, I'm gonna have me, you, Art, and Arkham do a playthrough of that on my channel. But that's gonna be a while from now. That'd probably be
Baldur's
like,
Gate.
yeah, that'd be like late 2026 at the earliest.
Oh yeah.
Probably even 2027, honestly, because I'd probably want to give it some time in between our two campaigns and starting that one.
Oh
That's the nice thing about Baldur's Gate 3. I feel like it's a pretty timeless game that like I'm never gonna get bored of going back to.
yeah. Well, I somewhat have the issue that I do with other RPG where I
Hmm.
lose the mindset of the character I was playing. And this has happened to me with D&D games too. If we had to take a long break and then we come back, I'll lose kind of
I
the
think,
headspace.
yeah, I think that's what helps with the Iron series is that we like write it all down, or at least a summarized version of it in the description. So like you can just read those text summaries and kind of get caught up to speed of like where your character's headspace is at.
Oh yeah, I need to rewatch the last episode to write the backstory at this point. Because it's just been so long, and I done it originally, but then I didn't save it.
Or she didn't. Charangitism.
All right,
Oh, all right, but I guess we should get started. That was kind of like the preamble, but
yeah.
episode 13. You want to
I
take it away, Rangy?
So the last time we left, we kind of got introduced to a new recurring character, Misa, who seems
Misa
to also,
Misa.
she seems to have her own Death Note. She was apparently saved by a Shinigami that had a, well, let's just say he had a crush on her.
Hmm.
Uh,
Essentially,
and
yeah.
yeah, and then because of that, she got his lifespan, which who knows how long that is. Uh,
Um,
with a Shinigami, who knows how long that is?
yeah, I mean, I think it's good that the author left it vague because it could be anywhere from like a few years to like a few hundred, few thousand years even, because
Yeah.
it just all really depends on how proactive the Shinigami was. He could be like a nerd and like write enough names to have like thousands of years in reserve, or he could kind of be like lazy and be like, "Oh, I only have 2 years left. I write some names down soon."
No, like I only have 2 years left. Well, damn. Oh, hey, there's a newborn. I'll write their name. There we go.
Yeah, actually, you can't kill newborns. That's one of the rules.
Oh, what's that? I forgot about that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's Let me find the exact
Oh,
rule. I have it written down. The Death Note will not. Death Note title card number 25. The Death Note will not affect those under 780 days old.
180 days. So
That's like a little over 2 years.
yeah. Okay, well, that fine. They're the 2 year old. I'll just have them hit by a bus or something.
3 year old.
Yeah.
I said it has to be. It has to be well over 2 years. Says 2 year old. Because I'm gonna do the exact math on that. So is it 365 times 2, that's 600 plus 120 is that's 720 plus 10, that's 730. So it's 2 years and 50 days. You can't kill them. 2 years and 51 days, they're fair game, bitch. That'd be like a funny like Death Note spoof. Like someone really hates this baby, and they just like have a watch set to when they can kill him. It's just like they have an alarm to like write their name down that day. Yeah, that's the one thing I always thought was funny about the Death Note writer. You can tell he like really liked to be quirky with numbers. Like none of his numbers are like exact, like nice, like common numbers. They're all like weird numbers. You know what I mean?
I know he wrote another series. I know it wasn't as popular. Reddit myself.
There's not that many manga writers who have more than two popular series. Can you think of any
No.
of more than two?
Uh, Taka.
Which ones do he have?
He wrote Ranma,
Does he?
Yasha, Jutsu Yatsure, uh,
I've only heard of
Rinne.
I've only heard of one of those. I've only heard of Inuyasha.
And I've mentioned Ranma to you, I think, when you've asked me what my favorite anime was.
Okay. I'm not saying it wasn't successful, but like I think popular and successful are two different metrics.
Yeah, Ranma is very popular. Jutsu Yatsu. Uh, I always forget that. Jutsu Yatsuro is also very popular, and Inuyasha is the most
Well, I think we
mainstream of the three, I think.
yeah, for sure. But I guess that's more my point of how many manga writers have more than two mainstream. I think that's like more of what I hone in at because popular like there's a lot of popular ones in Japan. Like how many are like globally recognized, right? For her, I would say it's probably only in Yuasha.
No, Ranma is actually big in.
Is it? You're
It
the only
is.
person I ever heard talk about it.
It was big in the '90s though. Not
What's it called? Remember?
Ranma One Half.
Not coming up. Oh, there it is.
It's also
Um,
really big in Hispanic countries. I learned at some. But yeah, the thing is, it's a series from like the night, not even the '90s, '89 to '90, according to
yeah,
IMDb.
I guess so. I've personally never heard of it, but yeah, probably just one of those ones that's popular, just that like never got around to my circle.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's one of those things where it's got that weird combination of it's older and then it's a bit weirder than a lot of the stuff that like the old anime that people know.
Because like I said, Inuyasha, I've heard several people talk about that one's
Yeah, that one's more
made its
recent.
way.
And Yusei Yatsuro is
Yeah,
older than both of them.
yeah, because Inuyasha, that's like one that pretty much every weeb knows about, or like normie weeb. Is you're like an actual weeb. I'm talking about like what like casual weebs will like talk about, and like Inuyasha. Even then, Inuyasha is like a bit more on the fringe side, but like it's still popular enough. I know people have seen it and recommend it, kind
And
of
Rumiko
things.
Takahashi is also considered like basically she is probably the biggest female manga creator outside of maybe like the woman who made Sailor Moon.
Gotcha. 'Cause, yeah, I don't really know that many manga writers in general. There was Toji Rama, is that how you pronounce that? The
Tojirama,
Dragon Ball. Toji Rama, is that how you pronounce it?
Toriyama.
Toriyama, that's how you pronounce it. Obviously, he's like the most famous, and then uh, The Naruto one is Kishimoto. He's pretty popular. Um, JoJo one is Hirikai, I believe is his name. He's pretty popular. The guy who did One Punch Man and
One,
Mob 100 just goes by one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that because both his famous anime or manga revolve around that
well,
number one
his
100.
his whole thing was he started as a webcomic artist.
Yeah, he did One Punch Man first, and then that got really popular, and then he did an actual manga, Mob 100, and even though Mob 100's definitely better, I like One Punch Man more.
Gege is also popular now.
He's the one who did Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the most popular of the mainstream anime. Bit of a hot take. I think Jujutsu Kaisen's pretty overrated. I think it's fine. Um, I actually kind of lost interest at one point because it just kind of felt repetitive, but I'll probably get back into it at some point.
And then Miura is probably the other mangaka I think that a lot of people outside of just hardcore weeps know.
Mhm. Okay.
Because Miura did Berserk.
Yeah, that's one I'm not familiar with, but I know a lot of people are. But yeah, it's funny. Hunter x Hunter, that's coming back, and that's one of those
Well,
ones that went on like a wins a
a-
winter hiatus.
actually, that's another one that had two hit shows.
But yeah, a lot of them have two. I'm just saying, I don't know any that have three, and I guess that lady you named earlier technically does, but that's
Yeah.
not something I would ever would have thought
Well,
of.
Takahashi is also just a really like long-term person in the industry. Like she has a particularly unique career, and she's also really known to be a bit of a workhorse as far as all the different stuff she's made. Because she's made other series too that have been like successful in like kind of weeb circles, but aren't as successful.
Which is crazy because Japanese, pretty much all of them are workhorses by American standards. So a workhorse in Japanese culture's got to be like insane.
I think I read somewhere it was like a news article talking about just her schedule. She's not only is she a full time manga creator, but then she's also a housewife, and she sleeps for like 4 hours a day or something like that. I remember it was
That's
insane.
it's gonna take literal years off of her lifespan. Sleep's important. I used to brag about not sleeping, but then I realized that's cringe.
I mean, she's
Um,
survived a pretty. She's 68 already.
yeah, I'm just saying, whatever your lifespan would have been, because literally what your body does when you sleep is like repair the damage that you do to it. So when the less sleep you get, the less repairs you get. It's like essentially just driving around a car and like refusing to go to a repair shop or get your no, know what it is? It's driving around a car and refusing to change your oil. That's essentially what you're doing when you don't sleep.
Oh no, I just. But yeah. So some works that were inspired by her was Scott Pilgrim.
I've never seen that. I'll get into it eventually. It just
Yeah.
has such a cringe fan base. It kind of turned me off of it.
So it's funny because some of the works that inspired her, it's like, oh no, for some of these, and that's one of those that's like hyper cringe. But I guess I kind of and I didn't. I've seen it, but I don't really like it. The Shantae video game series.
I've
I've
never heard of
heard of
that.
it. I've heard of it. It's like a 2D side scroller type games. And the Disney film Turning Red.
Interesting. I heard that was terrible.
I've heard that was terrible too.
When was the last good Pixar movie? Is it Coco? I think it was Coco.
Probably. I heard Soul was good.
Oh yeah, Soul was good.
We're on a
Soul,
massive tangent, by the way.
yeah, it's fine. Like I said, I think these are of the beginning part of the show. I think these are three of the least meaty episodes. I just rewatched them, and it's like it's surprising like how little of like like actual like consequential stuff happens. It's mostly just Light getting annoyed by Misa. It's like 60% of the episodes. Um,
Wow. Hold on, I just so looking at Takahashi's Wikipedia page, and I just saw inducted into Friends of Lulu's Women in Cartoonist Hall of Fame. So apparently she knows her buddy.
yeah, apparently.
Sorry, I just noticed that and I found it funny. But yeah, you are right that these are kind of, I wouldn't say less I guess less meaty in turn. It's a lot of lot more character stuff because they're still kind of establishing Misa.
Oh, it's very important on a first watch through, but like as someone who's seen the show a few times now, it's kind of less dense than most of the episodes are. 'Cause it's kind of a transition stage from the first arc to the second arc. It's essentially what this is. Because the first arc is what we've covered already, and these 3 episodes are the end of the first arc. I mean, we'll get there when we get there, but the end of episode 15 is pretty much saying like goodbye arc 1, hello arc 2, which I still really enjoy arc 2 quite a bit. I think it's not, I think each arc gets weaker than as they go, but I think the fall off from 1 to 2 is nowhere near as bad as 2 to 3.
I think the issue comes down to a lot of the issue comes down to how best to put it. When it comes to this type of story, the setup is a lot more of the work, and I think for this, like, it's more interesting to see as they're trying to figure out who Kira is, and then L kind of like needling at uh Light about being possibly being Kira, than it is to just see them kind of going off on hunting for the second Kira.
Even the hunting for the second Kira is kind of interesting in its own right. I agree it's not as interesting, but you know why the second arc's kind of less interesting after the initial exploration. Because I don't want to go into spoilers yet, because we're trying to go at this as we go, kind of thing. But like, you know why the second arc's so different than the first arc, because of a decision L or Light consciously makes.
Yeah, kind of. Uh, either way, I think we can probably just get in. The problem is, it's like I don't know if I want to discuss that yet because we have a lot.
Yeah, so
Yeah, well,
we'll
we'd be retreading
go
the
as we
same
go.
ground if as we
Yeah.
go otherwise. But yeah,
Hmm.
so the episode in question in this case is Confessions, I believe is the English,
Hmm.
and and it opens with the another journal entry has been sent to media organization by the second Kara. The and the team goes looks over it, and basically it's a case of it's essentially trying to set up a meeting with Kara, and they do, I believe it's 3 possible meeting times.
Hmm.
Because the one
I think
was,
so.
yeah, one was like a major event. One was was a fashion street on the 22nd. Yeah, it's on the 22nd, 24th, or the 30th. One was Fashion Street on the 22nd. Someplace on the 24th is how this explains it. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, there was essentially there was 3. There was one which was the obvious decoy. There was one which was or sorry, there was one which was supposed to be like one was a red herring because that's where like, you would think on first glance they were going, but obviously it turned out to be a decoy, which L and Light both deduced. One was the actual location, and then one was just like kind of like a throwaway location.
Yeah, yeah. And it a lot of it. I kind of like that. It kind of shows that Misa isn't entirely stupid. She's not working on the level of like Light and L, but she
I was
is.
actually say I wouldn't even say she's dumb. I would say she's actually above average in intelligence. It's just
Yeah,
that
that's what
she's
I mean.
dealing with two literal geniuses. So despite her being quite clever in her own right, she's just completely outmatched by the two of them. Like
Yeah,
the two of them just kind of play her like a fiddle because she just can't compete. I mean, to be fair, most people can't.
yeah.
And
She
I maybe there's a couple more who might quite possibly, but we'll get there when we get
Well,
there.
it's interesting though because she does have the eyes, which Light is already kind of
Yeah.
plan. It is interesting because during this meening they decide Light's already deduced the correct one,
hmm And
and
so is L, but L is revealed that until a little while later, I think, right?
yeah. Well, that's the thing because Matsuda is the one who volunteers to check that one, which is the one with I believe it's supposed. I don't remember what district they specifically say. I know it's a real
It was
district.
like a shopping district,
Yeah, was it
something like that.
Akihabara? I'm trying to remember. I know they say it. They say the district that it's supposed to be it. But yeah, though the I know the event was supposed to be at the Tokyo Dome. That was the obvious red herring.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the throwaway place was. Oh, I found the clip. Oh, they don't translate it. But we I believe yeah, it's Light notices the second location, and then we cut to Misa, who's talking to Rem about how she can't see lifespan. That's what I do remember. And this is another one of those rules that I find particularly interesting because you have to wonder, uh, like obviously something decided to set the rules for the Death Note. Oh,
The Shinigami King is like the best we have to go off of, right?
yeah, yeah, that's who we have to assume. They just decided, nah, humans don't need to see whatever Death Note users' lifespans are.
I mean, there's probably someone who's a higher power than him, but that's just speculation.
All we know for sure is there's no heaven within the
Well,
universe.
Ryu could just be saying that to fuck with
That is
Light.
true. Could be.
Like, there's no confirmation either way, and
I
Ryuk's
because
not
I
exactly.
especially given how much I feel like you have to lean on fate being aspect of the story.
I mean, it is. The Death Note literally works on fate. Um,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
everyone
think,
is predestined has a predestined lifespan.
yeah, I think, uh, I think it's not unfair to say there's a good chance Ryuk was just fucking with L. He likes to do that, or started fucking with Light.
He does. He does. I feel like he doesn't outright lie usually.
I guess that's fair,
Yeah,
but I mean, but even if it's kind of weird that there's a purgatory though if there's no heaven or hell. That's
But
what the Shinigami realm is. It's purgatory.
oh, I guess. But yeah, yeah. No, I like the idea, the incorporation of the mechanic, and like, why can't I see my own? Well, because this is something that wouldn't come up with light, right? But it would. It is kind of something you. I feel like it feels intuitive. The idea somebody would think
That's what's
like,
cool
I.
about that's what's cool about early Death Note. Even though it's not stuff you would necessarily think of, it tracks. So even though I wouldn't say intuitive is necessarily the right word, it's like it's logical is how I
Yeah.
would describe it.
I
I feel like
think
intuitive is
I.
something you can figure out without having like foremost foreknowledge.
I think natural would be the better term then.
Yeah,
It.
I like natural because like intuitive is kind of like Superman, right? He has like he's just super everything. So like it's kind of tracks that like yeah, like he's super strong. He's also super durable, super fast. Like if he's two of those things, he's probably also the third one kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh. But yeah, so she asks like what I feel is like extremely natural question of like, hey, why can't I see my own life fit?
Mhm.
And you get Rem, believe does explain. Well, she implies that this has been a conversation they've had before.
Okay.
I believe Misa does actually in both the dub and sub say, but the explanation we get is humans with the Shinigami eyes don't need to know their own lifespan. Because at the end of the day, with it is kind of like I think it makes sense because I feel like there's kind of a purpose to human Death Note users existing.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, the idea that and I think actually Light hit the nail on the head. They have the ability to use the reason they have the ability to even use the Death Note is probably to cause some greater change in the world, to shake things up, as it
Oh,
were.
yeah, it's kind of like chaos theory
Yeah,
action kind of.
it's essentially a pebble thrown into a calm lake. That's the best way to
Mhm.
put it with the way the Death
That's
Notes.
what chaos theory is in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, basically. I'm just saying that for the sake of any audience we have. But yeah, the we also get the news that Shinigami can't see each other's lifespans, but that kind of tracks.
Yeah, that makes humans not being able to see
Well,
or deaf no wheelers not be able to see each other's.
especially given well, for one thing, I feel like the ability to see somebody's lifespan kind of gives leeway to be able to change it, and this is essentially a fatalist universe for the most part. It's
Mhm.
a fatalist universe with the added caveat that the Death Notes exist.
Well, the Death Notes are the fatalist, I think, right?
Well,
Like, they're the ones causing the
the,
Shinigami's powers are. Oh wait, no, the Shinigami's
uh,
powers are what subvert fate.
yes, That's exactly what I mean because they can see when somebody is supposed to die.
Yeah,
So it's kind of a fatalist universe asterisk.
they can affect their world lines.
And I assume killing one person doesn't necessarily change a person's time, or if it does, do we get a confirmation on if it does so?
What?
So if let's say you're fated to die uh tomorrow by getting hit by a bus, but then something happens, like maybe somebody is supposed to wake you up somebody wakes you up every morning, and that person gets killed by the Death Note, so you don't wake up on time. to
I
get
guess
hit
it
by the
really
bus.
depends. I guess it really depends on like how much of a butterfly effect there is with the Death Note.
Which I don't think we get info on. It seems like everyone just has a predestined time to die, and that's gonna happen however it happens, given how the Death Note itself seems to work.
Hmm.
But yeah, so outside of that, yeah, we know that the light determined the exact place, which is the place where Matsuda's going.
Hmm.
Which I believe is supposed to be kind of a trendier like district where young adults would
Young people
probably hang
snow.
out.
Yeah. Hmm.
And he brings along like a bunch of friends to as cover, and because I kind of like the idea. Light is thinking like, okay, well, this person obviously has the eyes, and I don't.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. He.
he's like, well, they can see my
Well,
name.
no, that's not. That's actually not. I think that's part of it, but the main reason is they'd be able to see Ryuk hovering over him. So if he's in a
Yes,
crowd, they don't know which person Ryuk's hovering over.
yeah,
Um,
that's the whole idea.
and then that's like reason A why he's doing it. Reason B, it kind of obscures him from L security cameras, so he can kind of get away with more. Essentially, like he doesn't have to be as
Yeah.
on guard.
All of a sudden, Elle has to pay a lot more attention, and also there are people that uh like can kind of work around that could potentially block cameras, or even
Exactly.
just Light's natural interactions might hide things that he notices.
Yeah.
It,
Um,
and I think
it's
what's
a lot more variables L has to keep track of, which is obviously just going to make his job harder and Light's easier.
it what's interesting with the whole like not able to see lifespan, it gives Misa an instant and immediate way to like identify Light that Light can't plan for.
Which is it's good. They do a good job of introducing that in an organic way that has like a payoff within the same episode. That's kind of hard to do
Yeah.
sometimes, like in a way that's still surprising when it happens, right? It's like it's hard to do where you set it up properly and it's still like surprising when you see it. Like usually it's one or the other. Usually you either see it coming a mile away because it's so like foreshadowed, or it just comes out of left field because they just don't set it up at all and just kind of like, oh, I guess we're doing that now.
But also, I like the conversation we get with him with Light and Ryuk, where Ryuk's like, "Nah, I'm not actually going to tell you if I see the other Shinigami. What do you mean? I'm here to enjoy the show."
Well, because it's two very different partnerships, right? Like, Rem is like Team Misa 100%, where Ryuk's like, "Fuck you, like I don't give a shit what you want. I'm just here for shits and giggles."
Yeah. Ryuk is just like, I'm here for the show. If I interact and I'm part of the show, I don't want to be part of the show.
But I think Ryuk's definitely my favorite character, which is it's gonna be sad in a minute.
He's an extremely functional audience surrogate.
Yeah.
But yes, I think other than that, most of what we get before they actually go is talk about uh talk about the whole situation, because Ella's still also very suspicious of Light for some reason. I don't know why he would be suspicious of Light. Light's a good boy. He didn't do nothing.
It's also his only suspect.
Yeah, well, and I it's interesting too, right? Because not only is he the only like specific suspect he has, but then on top of that, you do get the impression part of this is that detective like gut feeling thing.
Hmm.
It's probably why
Well,
he's
because
not pressing the issue as much as he probably would if like with plausible suspect for him.
yeah, because I mean, it's just he's the only suspect, but at the same time, he just is the person who did it. He's just so good at covering his tracks and uh playing like dumb when he needs to be kind of thing. Like it's just and he's also like he meets all of L's questioning so well that it actually makes him more suspicious, which is always fun. It's like he does too good of a job, which is like the other thing.
It's like I don't remember what the anime was, but there's an anime I remember uh where one of the characters is kind of like this evil sociopath from some kind of experimental thing, but they're a super genius, but they don't want to be. So they just get perfectly average scores on everything.
For a split second, I thought you were talking about Monster, but then oh wait,
No,
no,
no.
no.
I forget what it's called. But the idea is the character gets perfectly average scores on everything. They perform everything perfectly average.
You ever seen
It
Idiocracy?
Idiocracy. Yes, I have.
I like that movie. It's just like let's take the most average man on the planet and then like freeze him in time to see how he compares
But
like in
and,
the future. And then I forget about him.
and it's interesting because another character actually figures out that he's more than he seems because he's too average. Because he's like, they're just like, there's no possible way you got 50 on everything.
Would 50 be below average though, right?
Not the way the Japanese score it.
Oh damn.
Basically, he got the middle of the pack all of the literally every single assessment exactly average.
Gotcha.
So because 50 on a Japanese test is not amazing, but they have a very different scoring system, at least portrayed in
Yeah,
anime. I don't know
it-
anything about the real world Japanese school.
because 50 in the US is like actually atrocious.
Well, yeah, because we grade very differently. They grade off 100 points, but so they grade it more. We pushed that like 100 point grade towards the upper end as far as like the CB or the ABCD system. They don't really do that as much as they grade off
Hmm.
specifically the point value. So uh essentially a 50 on one of their tests would be like a C or something, or C or D or
Hmm.
so. Yeah, where it's like specifically average.
Gotcha.
That's how I understand it to work. I could be wrong.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting too because this is another one of those points where you get a lot of the kind of the verbal sparring with Light and L,
Hmm.
and I kind of like that. I think that's one of the best parts of the series.
But yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of what the show is built on. It's like that's what the show gets memed on all the time. Like people constantly do spoofs of like Death Note conversations where like every little part of the conversations overanalyzed and somehow it's like what just seems like just like the most innocent statement ever is like actually like the character's like ultimate trap card. It's just like, oh no, how could I? He has me right where he wants me. He's like, blah 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 blah. Very funny.
Yeah. But yeah, the basic next step, I believe, is actually wait, I have the wrong page open. Okay, is it? It is the talk with Ryuk, which we already kind of talked about, and then them going to the place itself. Which I
Mhm.
do like that Matsudo though was told by L like, hey, I need you to look out because he's still a suspect.
Mhm.
Because it just it wouldn't make sense to not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that Light is taking precautions based off what he knows, and it's like, well, I don't know if that person's Shinigami is going to rat me out. Okay, I brought this crowd. It also is going to cover me for those cameras,
Mhm.
and it's just this little detail that there's no way he could have known because Ryuk is definitely not going to tell him.
Well, Reek didn't even know himself. He
Oh,
says that later in
I
the
forgot
episode.
about that. I guess it makes
He's
sense.
like
He's never like given a
he's never
human the
he's
diff.
never been with well, he's never been with two Death Note wielders at the same time.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's an extremely rare occurrence.
Yeah, because like it's already pretty rare that one makes its way, but like that happens. Two is like unheard of.
And then you also, on top of that, have to have one of those two take the eyes deal.
And also those two people find a way to interact, which back before like technology like would basically be impossibility unless you go by like JoJo rules where they attract each other or whatever.
Yeah. And what's particularly interesting is I like that Misa is smart enough to actually have gotten a disguise. Like she's wearing like a wig,
Mhm.
big, it- like I said, she is
Yeah.
in disguise, and you do actually get her perspective, where just she just sees the, sees light and like, oh, okay, so that's who it is.
Hmm.
But for on the investigation side, this this whole thing is basically a bust. This whole trip.
Hmm.
Yep. And on that note, hold on, I've got something I've got to deal with in the background. Can you filibuster a bit?
um Hello chat. How's everyone doing today? Is there anyone even out there? That's a song, right? Is there anyone even alive out there? Is there even anyone alive out there? Dun, 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 dun. Something, something, something. Is there even anyone alive out there? I'm gonna see Good Fortune on Friday. I like Keanu Reeves. He's a pretty bad actor, but I love him and I enjoy his films. So looking forward to that. Hopefully it's good. Probably won't be. Comedies are not exactly Hollywood's strong suit anymore. So we'll see how that goes. I like the premise though. He wants to prove that like money won't buy him happiness, and then it seems to do exactly that, which is pretty funny. Dun, dun, dun. Clash Royale, it's a pretty fun game. Playing that right now. Just to kill some time. Oh shit, I hate that card. Such a stupid card. Again, God, this game's so fucking frustrating. Ugh.
Alright, sorry about that. I don't have the headphones on so I can't hear. Sorry about that. I heard some noise downstairs I had to double check on because to make sure the dogs didn't kill each other.
Nor someone broke into your house.
That too.
It was Bigfoot.
Hmm. Well, no, obviously it was a yandere anime girl. I had to beat her away with a broom.
I don't even know what that means, you stupid
Yeah,
weeb.
yandere is basically psychotically obsessed. So Misa. That's why I made the joke.
Gotcha. Did that trope exist before Harley Quinn? I'm just curious.
It did. It kind of did, but it wasn't as prevalent, and it doesn't have anything to do with Harlequin necessarily. There's other
I know I'm just
characters
saying.
people credit with it.
I know I'm just wondering that like she's like the most famous example of that. So I'm just curious how much she played a role in that, like catching on more.
Well, they so that with the yandere quote trope is less like obsessive girlfriend and more I'll kill you if I see you with anyone else.
Hmm. Okay. It's a bit different than Harley Quinn then.
It's a bit different. Like Harley Quinn would probably be hurt. She might try something on the other person. She probably wouldn't kill the Joker if Joker was with somebody else.
Why not? No. Pretty what's the word? Whipped, as the kids say.
Yes, she is very whipped. Which Misa definitely is not.
No.
But yeah, I believe there was a different approach planned.
For what? What are you talking about?
I think it's trying to remember exactly. But because like I said, this whole message was or this whole
Oh, dude.
thing was fruitless.
We're back to actually talking about.
Uh
See, that's where you confuse me. You just segued back into the show with like no context.
oh yes, I do that. You know I do that. I'm a bit of a
Because
retard.
yeah, I know. Because like obviously you know what you meant by that, but like I had like no idea what the hell you were possibly talking about. I didn't even remember where we left off. So I'm just like I'm assuming he's talking about the show, but I got no fucking clue.
Oh, this is something funny. We do actually get the scene of Light returning home, and he mentions the girlfriend to the family
Yeah.
as just an excuse for why he's out so much.
hmm
And I kind of find that funny because it
And
does
he just he
come
just
back
and he just
around.
he just rolls with it too. He's like, yeah, I told you about her. They all are like kind of like, who's this? And he's like, I already told you about her, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just clicking through to make sure I'm not missing anything. Cause I feel like I am. Because I remember the her approaching. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything important that might need to talk about. Uh oh, we have the title card, I guess. Because we've got Misa learning Light's name.
hmm
Yeah,
She's like,
the
oh,
oh
it's spelled like moon, but pronounced light, or spelled something like that.
yeah.
Because I know like Japanese language is very different than ours.
That it's
They don't
why
e-
a
they don't
lot
even
of
use letters.
it's why a lot of Japanese wordplay doesn't translate very well because the Japanese really like puns with their names. Or not with their names, just
Yeah.
in general, but it might also be with it could also be with names of characters and stuff. I've seen puns in characters' names.
Yeah, it's a shame because it just doesn't translate.
And you can't really localize. There's not really an easy way to localize it other than just changing the joke.
It's like, and it just, and also just the way their language works, like, because like we can kind of get how wordplay works with like Spanish or French, but like even if like the joke doesn't make sense without understanding what the word means, once you understand what the word means, you can kind of see it. Whereas with like Japanese, just their words just work so much differently. Like when she says it's spelled like moon but pronounced like light, I didn't even know what that really means because I just don't really have a full grasp of how their like signs and stuff work. They don't use letters; they use symbols.
Outside of that, I believe we do get title cards.
Yeah, I already went over
Yeah, you went
the
over the
one title
first one,
card.
which is
The
very
second title
convenient
card,
that came up in this episode.
yeah. The second title card, the 26th one in total. The death note will be rendered useless if the victim's name is misspelled. Misspelled. I mispronounced misspelled. If the victim's name is misspelled 4 times.
What does it mean by that? Does it mean it's useless against them, or the whole book is useless from them? Just to you magic.
That's a good question, and I do not know the answer.
I don't think this ever comes up actually in the story.
No, it's just some random detail he felt like adding. But yeah, I assume it's that person can't be affected ever again by the death note.
In which case,
That's,
if you're a Death Note user, just misspell your own name while looking in a mirror 4 times.
but what if you accidentally spell it right? Then you're dead.
Well, then you have time to fill in the details and try to figure something out, I guess.
You can just prolong it by like 30 years. But if you go, but that's like its like own game show because if you go longer than your lifespan is, then you'll just die of a heart attack right there and then. You just have to just like estimate how much longer you'll live and then take the conservative
I
estimate.
think there's a limit to how much you can like control or alter too.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's within. It's like if it's within that, like something that would realistically happen, and if it's within their already lifespan. So like, you could write your own suicide. However, if you write it like past when you actually are gonna live to, you would just die right there on the spot because it would just default to a heart attack in that moment, which is what
Uh,
happens anytime it's an impossibility.
Either way, for your method of death, I feel like you're always gonna choose peacefully in my sleep.
Yeah, but well, you could choose more fun ways than that to go out. You could, depending on the type of person, you could be like, I win the lottery, and then like spend it on like hookers and cocaine for 10 years, and then
Eventually, I overdose.
something like that. Yeah. After 30 years of nonstop partying, I die of a cocaine overdose.
Suicide via 2 shots to the back of the head after announcing that I have evidence against Hillary Clinton.
I tried getting party in trouble with that last week.
But yeah, it. This is an interesting rule though because I'm kind of just like, what
I
does
mean,
that
maybe it is
mean?
just the entire Death Note just gets rendered useless, which would be really funny.
Would especially if you're already in an awkward position, and maybe you were even trying to kill the person who's like right about to solve it, but then they have like a really hard. They have like one of those like
There's like
Scandinavian
six.
names.
There's like two vowels in the entire name. You're trying to figure out what the hell it actually says.
Yeah, and it's also not pronounced exactly the way that it's spelled.
Yeah, like Bukowski or something like that.
But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
Misa
probably getting move on.
does look up his Light's docs as she does.
Yeah, she's like, it's so easy how much information you can get on someone on the internet.
Yeah,
She's
she's just
like,
like there are so many places that sell personal records. Wild.
yeah, she's like, this scary world we live in. She's like, I even know his address.
Also, we get like a look at her room, and she's got like these eerie kind of gothic plushies and stuff.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yep. Look. She's absolutely crazy, and I would never go near her. But I know plenty of leads who probably would die on that hill. Go, of going after the goth yandere chick, even if she's crazy and murders people.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm trying to remember. Does she just show up at the address, or does she approach him in public? Because yeah, I know that with the task force, a lot of it is just them being like, "Well, shit. So this didn't work. If we message the thing, they'll just cancel the event." But then we learned that they received a new they did receive a new message from the second Kira. So
Hmm.
however, Sakura TV received a new message.
Yeah, she found out who Light was when she looked at him.
Yeah. She's just like, it is funny. It kind of almost reads like an acceptance speech. Like, to all those at Sakura TV, thank you very much. I no longer need your
Hmm.
assistance.
Hmm.
Well, it's funny too because Light is still mentally referring to the second Kira as a he.
Yeah, I mean, just assumed.
But yeah, it's very much Light knows what this means, and Ains and L knows what this means. They're just kind of like, well,
Hmm.
now we just wait, I guess.
Hmm.
We also learned that I believe the message was sent from Aoyama.
Okay.
That's the name. Aoyama is the name of the. By the way, the district that they went to. That's it. Found it.
Gotcha.
But it's interesting because I love this kind of hyper analysis that you get from L, where it's like it was sent from Aoyama. The people who went to investigate Aoyama were Light and Matsuda. But I don't have any evidence or anything that could lead to. It's literally that. But shit, I don't have anything like concrete or usable here.
And you never will.
That's just kind of the eternal thing, because unfortunately, L doesn't just have to figure out who Light is. He has to prove it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real
he has to
issue.
be able to convincingly prove it because he has to work somewhat within the law, or at least.
I am the law.
uh, I do think they do kind of go like, I guess we wait for Kira to, and we just wait basically. I think they do still want
Oh, we
to
can't go waiting.
catch the second Kira, and they're kind of like, oh well, we want to get a deal with him to give us Kira's name. And that's the
Hmm.
interesting thing, right? Because Light knows that this second Kira has his name. those there aren't as smart as him or L, or at least he's
Hmm.
kind of deduced that.
Yeah.
So from Light's perspective, it's almost like shit, 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 we're fucked.
Hmm.
At the same time, Light is kind of just like, well, I have no reason to stop if he is gonna kill L.
Hmm.
But outside of that, I believe the police give like a general have a general address to her specifically. It's like, Hero will kill you if you go and meet him. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because really the amount of leverage she has in the situation, it's like she is probably the most dangerous person involved in the show at this point.
Probably
Yeah, because she
from
has the
just
eyes.
sheer firepower, and then no one knows who she is yet,
Yeah, and then
and she knows who Light is.
on top of that, like who is going to affect the random model?
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, she'll make a slip up eventually.
Oh no, never. What do you mean? I do like that her slipping up is what causes it because it makes sense. Because I feel like Light and L could,
Light never slips up bad enough to get
yeah,
himself caught. The closest he comes to slipping up is he overplays his hand with Ray Pemba.
yeah, and I feel like a lot of that is just it's misunder almost. I wouldn't even say it's misunderstanding the level of risk he was taking because he's up until that point.
I don't think it was misunderstanding. I just think he wrongfully calculated that it was more risky not to kill them. Because
Yeah,
in reality, right, they were actually about to stop trailing Light. It was kind of that ironic tragedy. Whereas if he just did nothing, he would no longer be a suspect.
yeah.
And by hastily deciding to kill Ray Pembar, he actually permanently made himself the only suspect.
Not only that, but in the short term, he attracted a much better investigator who had already deduced a major detail about the Death Note.
But did that ever come out, or at least at this point in the story, right? They never find out what she
No,
found out.
I don't think they have yet, but I do think that the moment they did, Light would have been fucked.
Yeah, because then there's just so much more stuff you can reevaluate.
Yeah, because at this point, the heart attacks are the deaths so Light wants them to know about, and then accidents and stuff are the ones he doesn't. And I think he even says that he's been killing people who are just inconvenient by
Hmm.
accidents over time.
Hmm. I think so.
Probably also any experiments he's been doing that he doesn't want to have public.
Yeah, I think um, he mentions that some.
Because we know the area that he's been killing people for, that he uh, meets Ray Pembar in. That was like a specific area he was doing kind of experiments in.
Mhm. All right, I'll be right back.
Alright. Anyway,
Go on
chat.
about me.
Anyway, chat. How are people doing today? How are we doing on? Oh, we got a few people. But yeah, yeah. We are kind of filibustering a lot. That's kind of fair though, because this episode really just boils down to Misa sets several like possible dates, knowing that Kira will figure out who or when those dates will be relevant. Uh Light goes to there taking precautions. Uh, Light Light gets made, but the event is overall fruitless. Light learns that Light learns that basically that the second Kira knows who he is, and meets with him, and that's like the rest of the meat of the episode. Really, is that meeting. Yeah, yeah. I just think that it's interesting because of Misa, and this is like the opportunity to get to know Misa's character, and like Iron said earlier, she is definitely not stupid. In fact, she is probably above average intelligence. She also knows how to utilize her own uh, uh ba- I was gonna say talents, but not just talking about her appearance. She, just she has social skills. She is a very sociable person. She had like we know that we learn later on that the envelope about like he's been taking a lot more precautions than Light even knows. On top of that, I feel like that's the thing. Elle would have definitely figured out if it was Misa who was the main antagonist, and he probably would have figured out way, way earlier. But it's kind of interesting because she probably, I feel like she also probably would have been less careful, but I feel like she would have done similar and probably even had a bigger impact than Light does because I feel like she's more impulsive, but she's also got the eyes. So she could literally just look at the most wanted list and just kill them off and then wait for that to get updated. For example. But she could also like I feel like she'd also be the type that's like, oh, this politician is corrupt. I'm just gonna murk him. Oh, this person is saying negative things. I'm gonna murk them. Like, I feel like she's more terrifying. She'd be a more Kira. I think what makes Light less terrifying and more in a way is that if you're an average person and you're not involved in the actual hunt for and you aren't a criminal, as far as you know, Kira's gonna leave you alone. As far as you know. And I think that's. Well, I don't think it's a negative against the series, but I do think that would be interesting to kind of play out is the average person's in who might be following the case, maybe even somebody who's tangentially related, like some worker at that hotel, or like a police secretary or something where they are kind of questioning like, oh, is Kara gonna murder me? Am I gonna be killed? And it's just like a tense thing.
I'm gonna kill you, Rainy.
You are gonna kill me, but that's through alcoholism. But we're not to that yet.
Where are we at in the
One day
episode?
we will have a drunk stream. Totally, it's not planned or anything.
But are we still on episode 12 or 13?
We kind of are. We're at the point where Misa just shows up at the house.
Okay, so that's the end of episode 13. Thank
Yeah,
God. It's just like I thought we're going slower than I thought. I mean, I should know better by now. We always take longer. I think we're going to.
you underestimated my autism.
Pretty much,
You didn't know my daily Tylenol intake.
Is it more than two?
No, but you know what? I just assume that I have enough in my system at this point that just makes out to like 4 a day.
Small horse.
I say that, I don't actually use painkillers, so I just but yeah, it is interesting that Misa's this like straightforward, and I feel like a lot of this situation kind of what's interesting kind of was that I think this is probably why they named it Confession. It Confession is implying like the police version, but do you know what a confession is as far as like Japanese anime? I don't know if it's a thing in Japanese culture itself, but definitely is an anime culture. Part of me thinks it is Japanese culture because it's so prevalent, but I don't know for sure. But a confession is basically one character is like confesses to another character that they like them, and I think that's kind of
That's
the hidden meaning of this episode and the
and that
point of
just
it.
is that is a definition of the word confession.
Yeah, yeah. It's essential, but it's essentially kind of a. I know it's a trope in anime and romance anime. The confession where the one character just like kind of like uh kind of sends some message, whether it's like a letter or through friends or something like, oh hey, this person wants to meet you out in the courtyard of the school, and then it's like they confess and say like, yeah, I like you. Yeah, that's like a trope in anime, I know. I don't know if it's maybe like a thing in general with.
I just think that's like a storytelling thing.
I don't know. It's done in like a more formal way in anime than it's done in like Western
I just think
things.
you're a dirty. I just think you're a dirty weeb.
That's probably true. But either way, it's confession of her feelings. That's like the whole thing with the title. I think we
Hmm.
can both agree with that.
Yeah, I never interpreted it any other way.
But it is really funny though how easily Light plays this off when I feel like Light is just like Light the moment he sees her he's like, wait, shit, so something's happening. And it's like I think he immediately knows that this is the second Kira, but it's like it almost feels like he's like a, oh thank God it's not just some guy that's like fanatic. It's like a chick I can manipulate.
Thank God it's not a gay dude.
I didn't mean it like that. I think I meant it like I'd imagine what Light's uh mind is like, wait, it's a woman, but I've never seen this person before. Then once she kind of mentions once she kind of mentions the whole TV thing, he's like, oh, okay, so this is the second Kira. Like, wait, I can actually use this then. I don't actually have to kill them. I think
Yeah.
that's part of his brain that is thinking that.
Hmm. Doesn't Ryuk also say something like, "Wow, Light, I didn't realize you were this popular with the ladies" or something?
I think he said that before, but I think that line does come back. I and yeah,
Or maybe his sister says it, and she's like, "I knew you were popular with ladies,
I
but
think it
like,"
was a sister. I think it was a sister.
and she's like, "Even for you, this is impressive," kind of thing.
Which, to be fair,
But
Misa is like actually
a
a
model,
model.
yeah. She's like, "Damn, bro, I knew you had Riz, but this is some real shit for real, for real."
Kill yourself.
I mean, without Lulu here, I gotta do the Gen Z
No,
cringe.
you don't. You really don't. No one is
Oh
going.
man,
No one expects you to.
no cap, for real, Dottie. Oh,
Yeah,
he's got that.
that's
I'm not even really giving Gen Z. She's got that. Yeah, that's what they say, right?
yes, yes, that is what they say, I think. I don't know. You're asking somebody older than you to give you young person dialogue.
I was never really into slang, even when I was like more
I,
hip.
I'm kind of the same, but my generation didn't have like a hyper. I don't think my generation had like a lot of.
Yours did. A lot of it's just I've forgotten about. Like I remember some of your guys, because you definitely had yours. Like uh,
Yeah, we had a little bit, but I don't think we did as much as some
I think
generation.
I think a lot of them are just slipping your mind, honestly.
They probably are. They probably are. In my old age. But yeah, it is interesting, right? Because you have the fact of light. Obviously, he has to have a private conversation, so brings her to his room. That makes sense. But then you have the
Mhm.
family dynamic where it's like, oh, well, light just brought like a pretty woman to a pretty girl to his room.
Mhm.
And obviously he's college age, so I'd imagine the family is thinking that this is like highly inappropriate.
Yeah.
But meanwhile they're talking about other inappropriate things like murder.
Murder's completely PG.
True.
I mean, by U.S. standards anyway, uh, murder's much more kid friendly than nudity, which is kind of backwards if you ask me.
But yeah,
Hello?
either way, when it comes to this meeting, I think the main points are light light. Well, Light's clearly panicked, but he's like, "How did you find me?" He learns about the eye thing. He learns about all of that
You learned about
detail.
the iPhone?
Yes, yes. He learns that she just tracked his iPhone.
Easy.
Oh wait, I'd forgotten this. You can see a person's lifespan and age with the Shinigami eyes.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that.
why
Remember the age thing?
why it's like, oh my god, he's young and handsome. Ooh, ooh, wee.
He basically is like that.
He's younger than her. She's
Um,
a cougar.
she's a model, but she's. I don't think she's that much older. Actually, let me.
I, I I think she's a couple years older, if I
She's
remember
definitely.
correctly.
She's. Yeah, it's.
Because he just started college, so there's no way she's not at least a little bit older.
Yeah, he's a college freshman. According to the so the AI was like, "Oh, she was born in this year, so modern day should be 41 years old." And I'm like, "No, I mean in the anime AI." According to it, though, she was born in 1984. She'd have been 19 years of age at this point.
That kind of feels weird. Models get that famous when they're like only
Uh,
19. Like, were they like teenagers in lingerie? That kind of feels icky.
there's some of that in Japan, yeah. From what I understand, it's not like full on lingerie. It's like, but it is like weird stuff. But also, to be fair to the whole like model thing, model can mean a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily mean like sexy clothing can mean like you can be a model for like a t-shirt.
Be an underwear model.
I think it's implied. I don't know what. I think it's implied she does like back. So she does kind of the idol thing, which is also popular in Japan, where it's like uh it'll be like specific brands of stuff.
Hmm.
So I don't really know I don't really remember the extent of it, but yeah, it is it's one of those things I find kind of iffy about Japan, to be honest. But I haven't looked into it enough to know how much it reflects like reality versus other things.
Hmm.
But the idol industry at least is very infamous in Japan for when it comes to the Japanese idol industry for being extremely like kind of sus. But yeah. Either way, she is supposed to be 19 now. He probably is
Gotcha.
at most a year older than him.
Probably, yeah. And that's
Other than
then
that, yeah, you get the general conversation with Light asking her like, well, what would happen if you got caught by the police? Like, oh yeah, I wouldn't give any information away. And he's like, but you getting caught is already screwing me up. It would already screw me over.
hmm
And essentially, with this conversation, very much is her her looking to extort a relationship out of him.
hmm
And meanwhile, he's just like, I'm in danger.
hmm
I think that's the easiest way to put it. It's like he's trying to like suss out who it actually is because he already knows, and does give her name to him like readily and willingly.
hmm
But he's just like, I'm in danger. The moment that this idiot gets caught, I'm fucked. That's kind of his
Yeah.
mentality right now.
Also at this rate, Rangy, I don't think I'm gonna have the energy to do
Oh
all
yeah, no.
three.
I'll probably delete the third episode off of there, and we can just move into the. Honestly, is there anything you want to talk about during this conversation specifically? And after that, we can move on to the next episode.
Yeah, let's see. I have a couple notes. So obviously, Mikasa asked to be Light's girlfriend. Light's like, I can't really do that. She's like, that's all I want from you. I'll do whatever you want if you give me that. It proves that she can be useful and that she's not dumb. Light's confused why she's going this far for him. Then she gives her whole backstory of like how he killed the man who killed her parents, and then that's makes her forever grateful. And then Light sees the opportunity in this. He hugs her. He says, "I'll be your boyfriend," and then he smiles as he's got her right where he wants her. And then there's a really cool shot as he's like hugging her and grinning like evilly as the two Shinigami gods of death like look up on upon him. Pretty sure that's what we used for the thumbnail actually.
Yeah, I honestly I think the next episode is the more interesting. But yeah, just overall, what's wait? Are we on Friends or are we still on the 13th episode?
No, the episode ends with the shot of him hugging her while the Shinigami look onward.
Oh yeah. So I guess just the situation itself. Look, I would say this is an unrealistic relationship and an unrealistic like chick, but Iron, are you aware of the trend of women who write serial killers?
Enlighten me, Rain.
What?
Enlighten me.
Okay, yeah. So basically, serial killers just get instant riz because apparently women
They
there's like
find
a
it.
bunch of crazy women that just I think it's the I can fix them thing.
Yeah, women naturally like bad boys because they
No, no, this isn't a woman thing to be fair. That men will also do this, but not towards the male serial killer. But men will also see a psychotic woman and be like, "That's the one."
yeah, because I mean, to an extent, that's more because it's more of like a physical attraction, right? They find like just the idea of getting with a girl like that exhilarating, whereas girls see it more as like a long-term project to try and fix. It's a bit different in how they see them, but like the same general idea is there. Um,
Yeah.
it also kind of goes to it kind of goes also to like that whole stereotype that like girls want a bad boy who's only nice to them, and guys want a nice girl who's only like bad for them kind of thing. It's like the plot of pretty much like every rom com ever.
I don't know. I've met plenty of guys who want the who want the crazy bitch.
Yeah, that's internet people. Peop- People in real life aren't nearly as down bad as that.
Yet.
Say yet.
Yes. That's the thing though. I think
Danny's
it's
gonna
just
remove all Riz from the world.
I will remove all risk just because I find it funny, honestly.
He casts an anti-Riz spell.
Look,
Like
I
the
want to
plot of a
know.
really bad.
I
That's definitely been the plot of a D&D campaign somewhere.
you know, I was gonna say it wasn't, but then I'm like, no. I've met some D&D people who probably would do that.
Like an evil like warlock or whatever, like steals all the charisma stats from the realm, and then like some bard rises up to like take it back or whatever.
That would be a funny campaign though.
That kind of is like an interesting premise. Like, what if you just like weren't allowed to level up a stat, like at like in universe reason?
I think the problem with that is stats are pretty universal. You could have an ugly person with like a high charisma because they are just that good at like Tyrion Lannister would probably have a
But that's
high
not my
charisma.
point. It's not he didn't remove beauty from the world. He removed Riz. No one's got charisma anymore. Everyone has low charisma stats just across the land.
Yeah, that's got the just the problem of its limits the player's build. I wouldn't do run
Well,
a
I mean,
campaign like that.
I don't think that would ever you should ever do that for like someone's first campaign, but like for a veteran player who like wants something different, I think that's like an interesting idea.
Maybe. But yeah, just where we going if basically Misa is she is the equivalent of the chick who writes like the serial killer who convinces herself they were like very righteous, totally did nothing wrong. Is the
Like
chick
that, yeah.
that dates the drug dealer and it's like, no, he's a good boy.
Hmm. That's the
But
lights
to be
also
fair,
say.
she's also more
Lights also like
ideologically like aligned with
yeah.
him in that sense, where it's like he sees what he's doing, killing like what is evil people as far as they're concerned, as a righteous like cause.
I think that's the most unrealistic part of this show. Or I guess maybe it's not. It's just we just meet more of those characters because they're relevant to the story. But like, I feel like there's way too many people sympathetic to Light. It's like a lot. Then again, there's some wackos out there, so I take that back. I feel like there definitely would be in our world as well.
Well, you also have the sensation Light talks about that people will talk one way public versus when they're anonymous. But I also do think there is an extent of like I don't think Misa necessarily has the exact same view. Like, because remember, she was willing to kill off people just critical of Kira.
Yeah, well, that's more because she was infatuated with the idea of him. Like, she obviously she aligns herself with his ideology, but like, if he didn't kill the person that killed her parents, like, who knows what her ideology would be?
Yeah. Yeah, she is very much the mentally unstable woman that, look, I'm sorry, wars are fought over.
Yeah.
And oh, I know I say mentally unstable woman. I know that's saying the same thing twice.
Hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, other than that, like in general, I guess this episode is very uneventful. I was saying this while you were gone. This episode in itself is very uneventful. Uh, and the visual at the end is really interesting because yeah, the I think they portray a lot with the visuals, like where Light gives her the hug and is like, I understand. You'll be a great weapon for me to use, and then you have like this sinister smile,
Yeah.
and the
I
music's
didn't realize
like,
yours that swells. Yeah, it's a good ending to a scene, but holy shit, I thought we moved on already.
yeah. Anyway, I believe we are on the next episode, which I believe is called Friends.
I think we haven't done 2 hours on one episode since the very first episode. I think it's the last time we went that
We
slowly.
haven't done 2 hours on this episode.
And we have.
No, it's only an hour and 40.
All right, right. It's like that rounds up to 2 hours.
It also runs down to an hour and a half,
Fair enough. I'm just saying it's been. I
given the
think
amount of
we
tangents.
haven't spent this long an episode since episode one was my overall point. Um,
Yeah,
I guess it's because
no, no.
we
Well,
don't have
to
Lulu
be
to like
fair,
tell us
yeah,
to hurry the fuck up.
yeah. Well, you're in autism territory here.
No,
I
don't
actually
look.
think this is the more
Honestly,
interesting episode of the two.
14 or 13.
Yeah. Of 13, 14,
I
I
said which
think.
one's. I said which one's more interesting. You said yeah.
Oh no, I said 14. 14.
Okay. Um, yeah, it's just like I enjoy talking on this show. Obviously, I'm just like extra low battery mode today for whatever reason. So it's just kind of like, I mean, you could probably hear it in my voice. I'm just pretty tired.
Nah, you just sound like you suck too much dick.
That's your job.
Which is why it's odd that I don't sound like that.
I was gargling marbles. I was trying to do a Batman
Oh, you were
impression from.
gargling now. Okay.
Uh-huh. You ever hear the spoof of like someone doing the Christian Bale Batman impression? It's like I'm gargling marbles.
Yeah.
What he sounds like.
The
It sounds like he smoked an entire pack of cigarettes before every line. So raspy.
yeah.
How
I'm not
Bruce Springsteen
familiar with
just
that
sounds when he
phase.
talks.
The
Bruce
Christian Bale
Springsteen
thing,
just
I'm not
has.
familiar.
You've never seen the Dark Knight trilogy?
No, I've seen that and heard his voice. Yeah, never
Oh,
thought
okay.
about it much. It sounds like
It,
somebody trying to hide their natural voice.
I mean, it's. I just think he went like too much with it.
Oh, definitely.
I like how Keaton does it. He just deepened his voice. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think to this day Keaton still has the best Batman voice because everyone else just either uses like Pattinson and Affleck just use like an electronic thing to make their voice sound different, and then Christian Bale does that ridiculous Batman voice, and then I honestly don't remember what Val Kilmer's Batman sounds like, and George Clooney didn't even try. He just talked like he normally does.
You know what? I think that the best Batman still to this day is
Adam
Andy.
West. Oh, Kevin Conroy. Yeah, obviously. That's just not fair though. That's comparing a voice actor to a regular actor in voice
Skill
acting. That's
issue.
just kind of like, well, that's like, well, Kevin Conroy is not that great of a physical actor, so that's I wouldn't compare his physical acting to their physical acting.
But yet we're specifically talking about the voice.
Not fair, fair.
Yeah, but in general, I don't know, because when it comes to Bruce Wayne, so this is kind of one. Actually, this is enough of a tangent that I could get on that we go for like an extra hour, and I think we should just get into the
I, I think you should just say it and then we'll move on because now I'm curious.
mm, so I think one of my views of the animated series has always been, even though it doesn't technically it's supposed to take place in a modern, it always felt like it takes place more in like a 50s, 60s setting. And in that case, Batman hiding his voice or not doesn't actually matter as much. And I think
Well, the
that just
animated series, he sounds completely different as Bruce than as
it
Batman.
does, but it's more so in it's not as much that he's like throwing his voice into like a different pitch as much as different like
He
a
is.
yeah
He literally he's so much lower pitched with Batman. Like he has like his voice is like higher pitched and softer when he's
it,
talking as Bruce Wayne, and when
it
he's Batman, he's like growling.
it is, but it's like if you heard them both one by one, you there is the possibility you'd be like one of, for one of them like familiar.
You wouldn't. I'll put it this way: there's no way you could get them confused of like if you had to play a game like which one's a Bruce Wayne line and which one's a Batman line. Like you probably have like 99% success rate of guessing which is which. He just talks completely different.
He talks different, but I think it's a lot more tone versus actual like voice.
Well, I mean, yeah, the tone's there, but like he softens his voice. Like there's a lot more grit to his Batman voice. He growls his lines.
Yeah,
Whereas where he's when he's uh Bruce, he's very soft spoken. Or
but I can tell it's still the same I could tell for the and I think this is what I mostly mean. It's like once you get into like hyper advanced tech, well, even like modern technology, we have like a voice tech. We have technology that could like identify his voice probably. Like
I mean, realistically, Batman's not getting away with uh main, maintaining his secret identity past like the 60s. Like
yeah,
the security camera technology has gotten too good. You could just track his car all the way back to the Batcave. Like, yeah, I know he uses like tunnels and whatnot, but like there's only it only you can only go so long without eventually getting discovered.
yeah, that's also true, and that's another reason why I think that well, Kevin Conroy's sort of setup where it's kind of implied the original animated series sort of like a older era because especially if you
It takes place in the 90s.
uh
It's
I think it's originally implied to be early they they moved it up because they wanted to sync it with Superman series.
Burton Batman. No, it's based off the Burton Batman films. All the character designs are based. Every character who appears in the Burton films has the same design in the animated series. Penguin looks the same. The Joker looks the same. Catwoman looks the same. Batman looks the same, etc.
Please look at the
Well, I'm talking about the first two films.
find out. I'm taking the but yeah,
Yeah,
anyway, Death Note.
I just think it's like kind of like the opposite of retro futuristic. It's like uh a- antique modern would be
Yeah,
the term because like it
the
takes place in the
just
present day.
retro?
Just the cars look older. What?
You mean just retro?
No, but like it's still supposed to be like in present day.
Uh,
Like it's not like they're not like, and it's not like an aesthetic thing, right? Whereas like retro is like when you purposely like wear older clothing or whatnot, listen to older music. Whereas like in the in the show, it's still the 90s. It's just Gotham just has like an antique look to it because it's just like an old city. Everything that city's old. The buildings are old. The cars are old. The ideas are old. Whereas like Metropolis across the water is like the city of the future. The buildings are new. The cars are new. That kind of thing. The ideas are new. Anyway, back to Death Note.
back to Death Note.
We're at the very beginning of the episode.
So, yeah, with this episode, it's very much like Light is kind of just like, ah, yes, perfect. I have the perfect pawn who's able to kill L. I know her name, so I'll just have her kill L, and then I'll kill her.
And then Rem steps in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it, it's funny, right? Because he even hides the fact. So he has her turn around. He has Misa turn around while he takes out the piece of the Death Note that he keeps in his pocket. It feels like he's. This is something I find interesting. He's kind of like minimizing the information she'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously he's already written it off. And remember, Ren can see this. This is why I feel like Ren puts it together that he is not like getting attached. He's just like, oh, perfect upon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because
And then
he has
and
her
then
turn her.
he
He,
outright threatens to kill her later when she gets like feisty with him over like the seeing the other girl thing, and then Rem's like, "Oh no, you won't."
oh yeah,
Mm-mm.
but
Gives
even
him
at
his
this
pass.
point, he is like minimizing the amount of information she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that he keeps bits of the Death Note in his wallet, like he had her
Mm-hmm.
turn away to where she could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then like her seeing Ryuk himself, I don't think is much of a risk because yeah, he also had an angel of death. That F and he looked like this, like that's not gonna be like particularly useful.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how kind of casual Ryuk is once
Like,
she's
hey,
able to see him. Ryuk is just like, oh, hiya.
How you do, fellow kids?
The other thing is she vaguely mentioned she knows how to kill a Shinigami,
And
just
then
in
she calls
passing.
Light darling. He
Yeah,
calls
well,
Light darling. It's really funny. He's like, "Did you just call me darling?"
yeah. In the sub, it's funny too because she says, "Can I refer to you as knight then? Because you're my knight in shining armor."
Yeah, she does end the dub as well. This is I watched both this time. They're pretty much the same. There's the occasional slight difference, but I wouldn't say there's anything really of note. It's like usually a filler word or two is changed, and that's about it.
Yeah, and as this goes, it just seems to be a case of Misa's flirting with Lila is just kind of tolerating it.
Hmm.
And then we get a brief scene with Elle looking over the security tapes because I feel like
Hmm.
this is the most certain at this point up till now that Elle has been that Light is Kira.
Hmm.
And he's just like, and literally is like, oh, you're looking over all the Aoyama tapes yourself again.
Hmm.
Uh, and you also get, I think, one of the detectives vaguely just comments like, so when does Elle sleep?
Never,
Once the autism subsides, once his
or
Tylenol
never.
supply runs out. Yeah, then you get well, the funny thing is, right after that, you get Nisa telling Light exactly how to kill a Shinigami, which is really funny. When Ren's response was, "You have to promise not to tell anyone about that,"
Well,
but
they already kind of had that payoff because
they did.
she's like, I can't wait to tell Light, and then Rem just kind of sits there like, what? Just kind of like she wasn't expecting her to just like immediately switch up on her.
uh, Before we continue, I'm gonna step away just for another second. Uh, I'm kind of looking to see if I can like start putting out putting up break music whenever I have to do this solo, but I'll have to look into
Like elevator music.
like public domain music.
Okay. Oh, so like music from the 20s.
No, there's specific artists that also release their stuff into public domain.
True. You could also put like more iconic songs if you do stuff from the
Oh yeah, I
20s.
mean you could also just put on something like Beethoven, stuff like
Yes,
that.
that's before the 20s, right?
You
I
know,
was like,
you
I was talking
yeah.
historically, everything the 20s earlier is public domain.
I could also kidnap a musician for them to work for me.
Honestly, it would probably cost more money to do that than it would to just
Oh, I don't have
go
to
about
feed
it the
them.
proper way.
I just kidnap more
What?
homeless people in order to feed them.
Yeah, but you said musicians. How many
Yeah,
homeless people are
yeah.
musicians?
I kidnap a musician, keep him in a basement, and feed him homeless people.
There's so many jokes I could make right now, but I don't want to dox you.
I know, right?
Where you live makes that very easy to do. So much to make fun of your area.
I mean, so much make
Anyway,
fun of any major city.
Yeah, some more than others.
But either way, yeah, I'm gonna step away. I haven't found the public domain music yet, but
Hmm.
that's a future plan, and I'll let you know when I find that. But yeah,
Okay.
uh, until then, uh, talk about how you feel about the dynamic between Rem and Lisa. Maybe I think that's interesting.
Um, I think Misa doesn't really appreciate how much Rem is willing to do for her, especially when Shinigami really don't normally function that way. Like Misa's in a very unique situation, and I don't think she really fully appreciates being in that situation. That's my thoughts on that. Um, all I got to say about that. Elevator music. Do, 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 do. Um, I think of what to say. So I've been letting Rangi kind of take point this whole episode. Um, it's raining outside. Look at that. Um, doesn't help that I'm abnormally tired today. The old wheels are turning pretty slow. Oh, it's really coming down hard. Look at that. I like the sound of rain. It's fun.
All right, sorry about that chat, Iron.
All good. I talked about Misa and Rem for all 30 seconds, and
Yeah,
I
it
just said
wasn't the best topic.
it's kind of I don't think Misa appreciates how like unique of a situation she finds herself in. Like Shinigami rarely care about humans, and like she kind of I think she takes it for granted. that
and
like she has that relationship with Shinigami.
and not only that, but she's had like all of two Shinigami get particularly like invested and interested in her.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the one that saved her life.
Yeah, so she is just like that's kind of the interesting thing with Misa, right? She is just
Yes, Shinigami simp for her.
bro, never simp for any girl. Or what what's the preemptive term for any girl? A woman, I
But
guess.
I guess I mean e-girls existed back then. This was the late '90s slash early 2000s. If you go, depending whether you go off the manga or anime.
Yeah, but she's meant to be like a magazine mod actual e-girl. Like it is funny though when you get the conversation because guess who is completely different from Rem or that guy, Ryuk. Where
Yeah.
Ryuk's response to learning how a Shinigami dies is literally just, I can't imagine a Shinigami would do that. Like that's fucking retarded.
Yeah, and Light's like, yeah, I can't see you doing that, and Rick's like, you're goddamn right, essentially.
But
Yeah, because there's essentially four Shinigami who get like something to do in this story. Really, only two, but
uh, yeah,
there's yeah, there's four Shinigami that have like that do things that affect the plot. I don't even really remember what the fourth one does, to be honest. I just remember he likes chocolate instead of apples.
I only vaguely remember the fourth because I think he comes in the third section, the bad section.
Yeah, that's why he's not very memorable. That whole section's not very memorable, other than just like
Well, most
it
people
happens
skip
because
over it or stop at
well, it's the whole. There's only one season, 37 episodes isn't exactly multiple season material.
ah but you know what I mean. Like most people stop during this arc, or rather this general storyline. I guess I should say.
The second arc, you mean? Because there's three clear arcs. I mean, I really don't see why people break up the show in two, other than because of a certain character. But like that's 2/3 of the show, and the first arc and the second arc are very different.
But also that certain character is actually of our actually we're being we might as well say it at this point. We're being obvious, but yeah. Uh, as far as this situation, a lot of this is like putting cautions out regarding the relationship, laying out kind of rules, and not,
Mhm.
and a lot of them are just kind of the sensible things, because, which is understandable, because as much as we know she's more smarter than Light probably deems even, uh,
She's smarter than a fifth grader.
probably.
Isn't that a show? Are you smarter than a sixth grader?
Yes, it was a show. I don't know if it still goes on. I only know because my high school did an event theme at once. I don't remember if it's my
Yeah,
high school or my elementary.
we had some people from the show come when we were sixth grade, or some people
Yeah,
from the company anyway.
I
I
think
doubt it
it
was
was
like
the
the
same
actual
for me.
host.
I think it was like middle school, elementary where it
It
happened.
was probably when you were in sixth grade because that's kind of the name of the show.
Yep, yep. Uh, but yeah, when it comes to it, it's interesting because he lays out kind of a lot of the this is where we get her laying out a lot of precautions she did. Like for example, the envelope she sent out had the
Hmm.
fingerprints of a friend rather than her.
Yeah.
Like she took a lot of the basic precautions that somebody thinking about it would probably like.
Hmm.
Make sure my fingerprints aren't on the the thing that's sent. Oh,
Hmm.
make sure it's not sent from my actual location or anywhere close to me. And the the way she does that specifically, it's interesting because it's a uniquely Japanese thing because they have like such a really good public transpo where you can just
Hmm.
hop on a train, end up in a completely different.
I mean, that's any city.
No, no, no. But in Japan, the country.
Yeah, you can in America you can hop on a train in any city and end up in virtually any other city.
Uh, not not in the same time scale because they've got the whole like high speed rail thing through.
Yeah, you can do it faster in Japan, but it's also a smaller country. Like, if I wanted to take, let's say, a train from New York to Boston, that's only like a 3 hour train ride.
Mm, yeah, but for if you couldn't take, for example, a train from like Houston to LA
Pretty good. It just you would have to just get
and like
stops along the way. There probably wouldn't be a straight shot, but our
would
train
that be?
system's pretty good. It's just people don't give it credit because we don't have like the bullet trains, but like I think those are a little overrated.
I don't know.
Like they're nice, but they're not like this like game changer that people make them out to be.
I
Just a weeb, admit it.
so
we have pretty good railroads here.
I think they could be better because a lot of our railroads were built a century ago.
Yeah, but like that's the thing about railroads is like they don't really break down the same way like roads do.
Yeah, but I think we could upgrade them to the train thing.
Yeah, but that's just so much money. The amount of time you would save versus the amount of money spent, I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, do you
You're,
feel
you're
the
talking about
same?
saving. You're talking about spending billions of dollars to save like minutes per train ride.
Uh, no, not no. You could save hours potentially between major things.
I mean, if you're doing like a cross country road trip, but like again, if you did like a bullet train from New York to Boston, you're gonna be saving what 10 minutes by switching, because our regular trains go pretty damn fast.
Well, what about say New York to Chicago or New York to I don't know San Francisco, L.A.,
To build a
Houston?
bullet train, right? Because it's just not feasible. Because Japan's like smaller than like most of our states. To build a bullet train from New York to LA would literally cost like trillions of dollars.
Yeah, but it would only cost trillions of dollars to build it, and then the whatever the cost.
Also, you know how infrastructure projects go in the States. Especially when it's across state lines, it takes fucking forever. Like they're still working on certain highways that they were supposed to be done
Oh.
like 20 years ago. Like
Well, we're getting a
it's
bit
just
too
it's
much into politics, but and
no, it's just
also
inefficiency in transportation technology versus the need for them in the first place. Like
I
Route
mean,
66 was fine. I think it's actually gotten worse since we broke it up.
um,
Anyway, where even were we?
yeah, I
And
was gonna say either way, a lot of what I can say, I can't say.
moral of the story is Ranky's a weeb who shills for Japan.
I do. They pay me like anime figures.
They give you Funko Pops.
No, 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 no. Proper ant. So, uh, Funko Pops are like the McDonald's of, like franchise merchandise. But also, I
Mhm.
actually don't collect anime figures. To be, I said it as a joke.
I don't know, man. Seems kind of sus.
Look, I would. I just don't have space for it.
I think that's cope.
Cope, I want to, but I don't have the room.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I could put it on other things. Yeah. Either way, yeah. Back to the actual series. A lot of this is that though. It's like, oh, I did. Oh, well, what did you? How did you do this? I did this, this, and this. And it's really just Light is looking for that like vulnerability that will already reveal for who she is. Like as far you can almost tell he's thinking about this like, okay, how would L figure out who
What would Jimmy Buffett do?
yeah, what would L do in this case? But yes, and then yeah, it seems to be like everything she answers is up to kind of he's like, okay,
Standards.
yeah, well, yeah, if nothing else, he's like, okay, well, that's minimal, that's minimal. Then he's
He
like,
meets his bare minimum standards essentially.
yeah, yeah. And then he has he's like, oh, so we're officially boyfriend and girlfriend. He's like, yeah, sure. But by the way, we can't appear in public.
He's like, why not?
Well, she actually lays out her rules, which I feel like that just takes him off guard. He's like, wait, what do you mean you have? What do you mean you have conditions? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, but yeah, she's just so her standards are she wants a date once a week. Hick is one of the early things, and Light is immediately like, "You don't understand, you fucking idiot."
You have any idea how much I sacrificed?
Well, no, but so it's interesting, right? Because Light's view is
Also, can you
like,
hear this? Can you hear the storm outside my house? Like
no,
really heavy rain and wind.
no, but Discord's noise cancellation is selectively good. Sometimes it catches nothing, and sometimes it catches everything you don't want to come over to. It just
Feel
depends
the
on the
wind
day.
on your face. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. Let it in. Let
But
it in.
yeah, basically, Light is like, look, we can't be seen in public together, and this the
He's just
fuck.
embarrassed. She's too hot, and he feels bad. He's insecure about her hotness.
Well, what's interesting is her being a model gives him a specific like. Well, this is why you
Not be
don't
seen
go
with
on
her.
date nights. This is kind of why we're kind of keeping it on a download because she's a model, you know?
Mhm. A particularly famous one at that.
Yeah,
Like it's to the point where like people just like even Elle just recognizes her casually seeing her.
yeah, she's like Gal Gadot or something.
Maybe not that level mega fame, but like Tom Brady's wife, something like that level of fame. Like
No,
Giselle, she's like one of the world's most famous models.
yeah, no,
Because Gal,
I meant who was the Tom guy?
oh, Tom Brady is the goat of football.
Okay, so he's gay.
Won, he won 7 Super Bowls. I mean, he does kiss his son on the mouth, so
What?
yeah, that's actually a thing he
You kiss
does.
your dad on the mouth?
He kisses his son on the mouth, yeah, and his son's like 10.
That you made it worse.
I mean, it used to be a more normal thing to do, but now it's very much not normal. Yet he still does it.
Yeah, there's a reason it's not normal to do nowadays.
Yeah.
Look, Iron, I wouldn't kiss
Yep.
you on the mouth. Sorry.
I would hope not. I would appreciate that you wouldn't. Also, do you know Tom Brady cloned his dog?
I did hear about that. I
Yeah, I
heard about
told
that
you earlier
today.
today. Yeah, I told you today. Me.
No, because I heard that's why I latched on to you saying Tom Brady because I heard somebody say Tom Brady cloned his dog, and I was confused because I
Yeah,
was
that was
like, "Who's
me. I
Tom?"
sent that in Discord.
I don't think I actually saw that message. Maybe I did, but I don't think. No. I was listening to a podcast today where that came
Oh, well, I did send it in Discord earlier.
up. And I was just confused, like, who's Tom Brady? Why should
He
I
won
care?
7 Super Bowls.
Oh, okay, so he's a nobody.
The funny thing is, though, as rich in fantasy he was, his wife was richer because she was like the world's like most successful model or something.
Yeah. But yeah, also, like, we're not talking worldwide. She's specifically a Japanese model who is, like,
Yeah.
famous in Japan. Oh, hey, Dake is in chat.
Oh, hello, Dake. How are you?
Said, oh, hi.
Oh, hi there. Hello there.
But yeah, anyway, back to the point. Yeah, it's particularly interesting because, yeah, the light is basically trying to limit his interaction and especially his public interaction with her at this point. Because it's funny because from what I know, this chick is Dake's type. He's he is the type who is into like
Crazy.
crazy art hoes.
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Yo guys.
What did Dake say?
He said Chrissy Teigen? Yo guys. Muchy tired, but we appreciate that, Dake. But
I don't.
also I don't know if you need to work tomorrow or not, but make sure you take care of yourself, man.
Rangy just copied my bit about sleep is important. Stealing my bit.
Damn.
Tell me more, Rangy, about his sleep schedule or your
I
taste in
assume
women.
he means about the hot woman, but I'm not sure.
Misa
Maybe he'll
Misa is
clarify.
a hot anime girl that a lot of people in real life simp over, and
Not
it's
like I
she's like
actually
she's
don't
probably one
know.
of the most.
He might have a delay because I put it to low latency, but not the lowest level latency.
What was I gonna say? She's. What do you think? You think she's simped on in higher levels in universe or in our world? Because she's pretty simped on in both.
I was gonna say, I think she's simped on an appropriate level for like a very like famous model within the country itself. She's a local celebrity. We're talking about uh we are also talking about the early 2000s where celebrity was kind of a more
Bigger
celebrity
deal.
culture existed more. We're
It
talking
was
about
yeah.
yeah,
Celebrities are kind of irrelevant now. Like influencers are a bigger deal than celebrities.
oh, your about your type of woman. Well, I think you said when we were talking about thumbnail steak. Of uh that oh no, I will have to sacrifice myself by sleeping with particularly hot but crazy art hosts.
Rangi's type are barefoot and pregnant.
No, my type can't get pregnant.
That was the low hanging fruit, but I wanted to go with something a little bit more creative.
Yeah, well, there is always a delay date. Uh, you can fix the delay somewhat, but there's always something of a delay. I could put it to ultra low latency. The problem is that's gonna like make the gameplay look worse. That's why I usually don't do it. I try to get away with it when it comes to like the media streams.
If anything, Rang, you should probably put the latency a bit higher because like our your gaming streams are a bit laggy. Like they're not laggy. Like the quality of the game looks like a little low res.
Has it been doing that? Okay, that's good to
Yeah,
know.
I mean it's not like unwatchable. It's just it's kind of like lower than you would expect, kind of thing.
The Dake's response is, I will take that burden for the rest of you. Okay, burden. Okay. I mean, I could just, well, all we really have to do is find an artist, him into a basement and feed him homeless people. But okay.
What is that your bit now? You keep saying that.
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
It's just a very weird bit to have.
But wait, why? Why is it weird?
Right? He's like, tell me why my obsession with eating homeless people is weird. Tell me. You can't, can you?
Well, actually, you're right. Eating homeless people, I feel like it wouldn't be.
I would not be healthy for the homeless people, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, but they're not people. Who cares about that?
Rangy's solution is to cut the homeless people in half.
No, that sounds like a lot more. There's a lot. No, we just need to give them the drugs they're addicted
Ah,
to. You see, I just hit you up the spicier answer.
what?
Well, look, they are addicted to drugs, so we just keep giving them the drugs.
This is somehow like even more unhinged than our normal streams because I'm too tired to like keep you on track.
But yeah, speaking of keeping on track, let's talk about the show. I do like that Misa is like L is pretty amazing when Light reveals like how he's been like personally being involved with L.
Okay, Misa, I see how it is. You just simp for any guy, huh? Just any guy who's just like, ooh, he's kind of smart. Ooh.
Well, no, she is pretty. L is pretty amazing, which I don't feel like
I
that's her.
you know,
Yeah, I, I mean,
I'm making a joke.
though to be fair, you could argue that because yeah, her she does seem to have a type.
Yeah. She the only reason she likes Light better is because he's hotter.
Hmm.
Elle's a little gremlin, man.
He is, but he's the best Gremlin man.
Is Elle your type, Rangy? Is that what I'm hearing?
You know what? Yeah, just for the meme.
Or for the meme.
Wait. What do you mean? Like he is the perfect partner. He just hunches in a corner, eating snacks, and doing his job until you need. You don't have to. You don't have to like do all this like emotional bullshit with him.
word for it, I suppose.
No, I feel like you just have to leave the way out. He'll move in on his own. But yeah. Either way, she's more impressed because, well, this is her kind. It's interesting because she's almost taking Ryuk's job as audience surrogate here, where it's like it feels like this is like an. It feels like it's an onboarding position for people who hadn't been watching the series or reading the series at this point, where she kind of gets the info dump of like, yeah, this is what's
Mhm.
happening. Yeah, I'm Kira. Uh,
I
I'm
am Kyoto.
yeah, I am Kira. L is currently actually close to he. L suspects me. We are actually working together to find Kira because he suspects I am Kira. I'm trying to figure out his real name so I can kill him. It
I am
feels like
Spartacus.
it's meant to be uh an onboarding episode to me, you know?
I get that impression a little bit.
At least the early points.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, she also does mention that everyone thought you were stupid.
Yeah, I mean, basically, he's just gone so long without anything to show for it. Like, I don't think people really understand like how complicated this really is. Like, they get it; it's difficult because like powers and all that, but like, it's not just anyone with powers. It's light with powers, which is just like a whole nother level of complicated.
But also, you are dealing with. But people don't know how long general a police investigation can often take.
Yeah, but I mean, it's but even by police investigation standards, it's been a little bit
Yeah. The
like
problem is
they're
this is a
it's been
particularly
going
high
on for
profile.
what like yeah it's been going on for what a couple years now.
Uh, no, Light is in high school at the start. He is in college now in the first year.
It's been over. It's been at least a year. I don't
Yeah,
know like exactly how long, but
it's been at least 6 months. It could easily
yeah,
be like 6, but generally,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's a bit
Well,
longer because there's been a
actually,
lot
I
that
think we
happened.
get the month as
I think there
May.
is a time skip. I think there is a time skip where Elle said he's been like, or Light's been killing people for months.
Yeah. Actually, I think let me check the wiki to because
That'll probably
uh
give you the whole
no wait,
rundown.
but it has actual dates that it takes. So it has actual dates for the last episode that I noted.
Mm.
Uh, so May 2007 is when the meeting was supposed to happen. And let me see if we get an idea. If we get a date when the and 2007 is for the anime, I think. That's at least what this says. Does it give us a date before that? That's what I'm trying to find, is if they ever give us a date before that. I know that the episode premiered in Japan in October 3rd of 2006.
Mhm.
And I think that the idea for the anime at least is that it takes place still in the early 2000s, so
Hmm.
I don't know. We don't know how long it takes. Uh, Either way, I think we should just continue. We're already
Yep.
2.5 hours into the stream.
Yeah, I'm running on essentially a low battery. I'm just letting you plug away while I make color commentary.
But yeah, I guess the major thing to bring up is the major of the episode, which is gonna be like obviously Light gives all these other rules to Misa.
Hmm.
Most of them are like common sense things and him asking questions. Misa's rules are like wait, let me read Misa if Misa has any specific conditions outside of what I remember.
Like no dating other guys or
Well,
no
yeah,
dating other girls.
no dating other girls is the major one.
I think she'd be very confused if he dated some other guys.
To be fair, that would throw off Elf.
I was like, do I have a chance?
You know what? Uh,
I think more people unironically ship Light and L than Misa and
I was
um
gonna say that. That's why I was like, you know what? Funny you say, but a lot of those are also Fujos. So.
what the hell's a Fujo?
Fujoshi. Uh, so there is within anime culture, there's a unique type of woman obsessed gay pair. Actually, I say unique, but that exists in a lot of cultures. That exists with Spock and Kirk. That exists with uh, Holmes and Watson. So it's not unique to Japanese culture, but Fujoshi is what they call them in Japan. It is women obsessed with gay relationships. And funny thing is that from what I understand, the translation for Fujo is dirty woman. Or Fujoshi is a dirty woman. But that is the thing. Oh, the supernatural fandom is largely another example of that. Well, Iron, Iron, I broke him. I think I broke him, chat. Chat, he's dead. What do we do? You think I can sell his organs? Uh, oh, okay, he full on disconnected. Hold on, this might be a connection issue. Is this on my end? I had 247 frames drop, so maybe. Test, 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 test. Okay. Okay. I guess. Do we wait? Do we wait, chat? I'm sorry, we have lost the monkey. Uh, Hold on. I have some messages in my own. Oh, Jake did say he could join.
Oh,
Ah, there you are. Hello.
my power went out.
That was the impression I got. I figured it had to be something like that.
Where
That
are we?
I was explaining what Fujoshi were on a tangent.
Oh God,
Basically, it's
the
women.
stream is so unhinged.
Basically, so the easy explanation is women obsessed with gay men.
Yeah, South Park did an episode on that.
Yeah, and uh, it's just the weeb equivalent of that. So it's like people obsessed with like Naruto x Sasuke or whatever.
To be fair, that actually would have improved the story. Like usually these things wouldn't, but Naruto, like the most of the romances outside of like Shikamaru and like Tamari, that one actually works, but most
But
of them are like pretty like cringe and like not natural, and they're just kind of get together because plot demands it and one character simps for the other so they get their wish. But
that's
like
because Kishimoto is shit at writing women.
yeah, the only two good he wrote three good female characters.
Okay,
Four.
Tsunade is one. What's the other two?
Not five, you wrote five. Tsunade, Granny Choyo, um the Mist Mizukage woman, that's three. Mari, that's four. Naruto's mom, that's five. Oh, and Conan's six. So he wrote six good female characters. But out of how, but there's a lot that are bad. Like Sakura's not good, Hinata's not good, Ino's not good, which are a problem because they're like the three most prominent. Ten's not good.
Well,
Ten's just a meme though.
Ten is like the least offensive of them. Ten's not
Ten's not
good.
even a character. Ten's not a character.
Yeah,
He has
yeah,
less. He
she's
has
like,
less screen time than Naruto's swing.
yeah.
Isn't
Uh,
that hilarious? Naruto's swing that he sits on when he's sad is more
well,
screen time than Tenten.
the worst thing about that actually isn't even that. It's that
What?
Team Guy had their own spin-off show.
I heard that was actually pretty funny though.
Yeah, and well, but no. Like the team she's on had their own spin-off show, and she still has less screen time.
Well, no, because that's a chibi anime, so it doesn't count.
I count.
It's not canon at all.
Mm, To be
Like
fair, not Naruto like contradicts itself so much from still lore.
it does, but like that show just like they like break the fourth wall in like every episode.
Fair. All right. Well, let's continue and try to get through this episode of Death Note.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Rang
but
will let me
because
go home until reruns.
especially because is your power still out?
Now it's back, but who knows for how long.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, we get the whole thing with. So we get. It's interesting because I actually feel like if Light was like, oh yeah, I'll accept the whole like dates every week, but I have to be seen with other women or at least flirting with other women. That, well, I feel like this is one of those examples where Light is almost over optimizing in a way that makes him more suspicious.
Yeah, because
Because,
the people following him are like, why does he have so many girlfriends?
well, no, because with with him, uh, well, it's explainable. You could explain away a playboy, and also having that reputation of him being a playboy and like bringing along multiple girls actually kind of works better in his favor because then he has like not as directly tied to Misa. But
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
but uh the problem is that he is kind like I feel like if he like kind of was like, look, we have to keep secret because you are in the public eye. Uh, obviously I'm trying to keep things from hell. Well, we have to keep it secret about dates, and uh, I might flirt with other women. I'm not going to date, or if I do, it's only going to be a one-off. Not going to be anything else. Like, there's a lot of ways he could emotionally manipulate that Light just doesn't pick up on. Because I don't think Light actually understands actual human interaction. Know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he's like an autistic sociopath. Like, there's he doesn't understand people on an emotional level at all.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those sections of the story that makes it particular. Because if he actually had an understanding of how people work, he would know just thinking hates other in like a very blunt way is not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously,
Because of the
but
implication.
not even because of implication, because of the just look. You're talking to a hyper obsessive woman, and you're talking about specifically branching out from that hyper obsessive woman and not like justifying it at all, not reassuring her at all. I I don't know, like how how did he think? How did our boy think this would work?
How do you think this is gonna go, Walter?
Basically, but yeah, she actually outright does say, "If I see you with another girl, I'll kill her." And the way he should have handled this is backing down and be like, "No, no, look, I'm gonna kiss
Because this is where
anywhere."
he says I'll kill you, and then
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Well,
then what's her name's like, if you do that, I'll kill you, like Yagami.
that's the funny thing because he's like, "Yeah, I have both of those notebooks. I'll just kill you." Because I feel like at this point he is still like well, so it actually makes sense he's gonna make this claim too. Because so from his perspective, the reason she identified her isn't because Rem told her had a Shinigami. It's because she had the Shinigami eyes and could tell herself. So I think at this point he's that her Shinigami works like his Shinigami. Because like
Mhm,
if Light was in a similar position, you could just be like, "Well, nah, I'm not gonna tell you nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna watch how this plays out."
mhm. Yeah, he went off the false assumption that most Shinigami are gonna behave somewhat similarly to Ryuk. He knew Ryuk was a bit of an oddball, but like he didn't realize that like um there'd be other types of oddballs like Rem, because Rem and Ryuk are very atypical, just in very different ways.
Yeah, yeah. Because in this sort of in this case, Ryuk is definitely typical in that he is not emotionally.
Yeah.
He's like comedically invested in anything, you know.
Mhm.
Like this
He
is
does
his
it for the love of the
entertainment.
he does it for the love of the game, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is his. This is like a show that he's particularly interested in. He's not gonna die for it, but
Yeah.
wants to see what happens. versus Rem, who has like a personal involvement that I do. And it feels like it is another one of those cases where, because I've heard people describe Light as a Mary Sue or a Gary Stu, rather, and this is one of those cases where Light just completely fucks up the play.
Also, how's he Gary Stu? Like his literally his biggest flaw. I mean, we're gonna spoilers, but like his biggest flaw is what ultimately undoes him.
Well,
Like,
people describe it as he's a Gary Stu. Specifically in this case, I've seen it happen.
yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, that's literally like the exact opposite of what happened in a Gary Stu story. Like, his very flaw, his very most potent flaw, is what ultimately undermines him, and it's his narcissism, is his undoing.
Yeah, so a lot of people describe it as, oh yeah, the uh the Death Note happened to fall into this perfect person, and I don't
Oh, but
agree
that's
with
just
this. This
what?
is
That's just
yes,
that's first of
yeah,
all,
no,
this
no,
is a
no,
world of fate.
that
Second of all, this has nothing to do with him being Gary Stu at all. That's a
yeah, yeah.
completely irrelevant argument.
Well,
I just
so
think these are
so
silly
the argument
conversations.
I've heard is this is not something I agree with. I actually vehemently disagree with it for the same reasons. But I'm going to restate it just for the sake of the conversation. Argument I've heard is like, oh, he happens to be like this brilliant person who happens to be in a exact position where he could evade authorities because his dad is involved in this, that, and the other. Extremely popular. That's the way people described it, which is funny because the 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 student council president is like hyper popular, is like an archetype, a general.
Mhm,
Uh, like whether male or female, it's an that like has
mhm,
existed for decades. In fact, probably predates Death Note. Uh, it's just like in general, it's like, oh yeah, this is like the student, because Japanese culture, like the whole nerd thing, is not like the guy who gets good grades. The nerd thing is like the otaku.
it's like a loser almost.
Yeah, yeah. The Japanese nerd is a hikomori who doesn't do good in class because they don't show up.
Yeah, it's kinda like it's like almost like their nerds like inverted of our nerd kinda thing.
Somewhat and somewhat not. So the idea of like the the American equivalent of nerd is a hikomori. Essentially, the idea is to shut in, doesn't like go out for school, and it oftentimes is someone who's anime obsessed too. But they aren't known to like get good grades. They're known actually for almost the opposite. They don't show up to school at all.
Mhm.
Like they will skip and they just fucking vehemently hate everybody. Uh, the the Hikomori character archetype is extremely different from like the American archetype. They don't care about academic performance. They care about niche. And in that way, I think it's probably actually somewhat more accurate and somewhat.
Mhm.
I guess it depends on what you think of as a nerd. Because when it comes to a lot of like Japanese media I've seen, the student count oftentimes the portrayal of like the hyper popular character is like the student council president who gets the perfect grades. On top of that, might be involved in like a club that's particular. He's he's also like charming on top of that. That's
Hmm.
like the Giga Chad as far as Japan. It's not like the quarterback who maybe he struggles a bit with grades, but yeah, games. But yeah, once again, we're back, and we get the mother coming into the scene. By the way,
Hmm.
which I find funny because the shot we get is with the so it's the two of them with with the Shinigami. But you have to, but knowing the lore already, you know she can't see the Shinigami. But they show us the scene with the Shinigami, and it makes it really funny.
Hmm.
And I also feel like the mother intruded because she's just like, you two aren't doing anything inappropriate in my house, right?
Hmm.
And they are like standing across from each other at that point. Yeah, outside of that, yeah, Light's mom is does tell her like, oh yeah, you're gonna walk her to the station, right? Because obviously you're not gonna like leave a woman to walk home on her own.
Hmm.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because obviously, yeah, the implication isn't like, oh, it'd be, you know, well, first of all, it's kind of like, yeah, you guys get a little bit more time together, but also it's like, she's not gonna get like safer for her if she's like walking with.
Hmm.
But you also get like, but because she went off on her own, you get dialogue scene between her and Ram.
Hmm.
And it's very clear she's just entirely buying into Light's bullshit, and Rem is kind of like sus on him.
Hmm.
And then we get the screen where because we are halfway through, we get the screen day or for the episode code, which the first one is for the death note is suicide is a valid cause of death. Basically, all humans are thought to possess the possibility of commit suicide. It is therefore not something unbelievable.
Hmm.
Then next pause screen. Whatever the cause of the individual's death is either suicide or accident. If the death leads to the death of more than the intended person, the person will simply die of a heart attack. This is to ensure that other lives are not in. So this kind of leans into the butterfly effect. And I kind of wonder at that point if uh if that implies that like
I
other
think I guess that means you can't like um mess with fate beyond what's directly
yeah
intentional kind of thing.
yeah like fate probably will readjust based off who's not present. You Shinigami might be able to affect fate by removing specific people from someone's life, but not they probably first off the Shinigami tend to be impassive enough. We probably wouldn't get comfortable. Also, in general, we can kind of assume from this. I think that Fate's plans are you can shake the tree, but you can't cut it down. Basically.
Hmm.
Also, Dake was musing that he could have just jumped into the call, but then he didn't. So that would have been funny if he did. But
Has Jake seen this show before?
I actually don't know. I assume he has. But yeah, either way, I find that interesting for a world building perspective. Uh, outside of that, we have Light having to deal with the fact that he now kind of has that ultimate. Well, I think he does. So he has the ultimatum that he knows how to kill Shinigami, but he's the ultimatum that like essentially he can't make uh Misa unhappy, and he has to appease her,
Hmm. Surely that can't go well. Can't go wrong for him.
bro. And he's kind of it feels like he's almost like, well, shit. So I have to put Misa into a position where she can see L, but that she's not in danger. Fuck. That's what I think like the main conflict here is supposed to be.
Hmm.
There's nothing about his moral qualms, but the other thing is like I can imagine other people leaning into the moral qualms, you know,
Hmm.
which is why I find it interesting. The anime gives us like all of his like internal monologue involving this, where he's like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit if she dies, but if she dies, uh, then I die, and that's the problem."
If she dies, she dies. What's that line from? It's, one of the Rocky movies, maybe.
And he also learns that yeah, she is a model that he is publicly facing. That is a massive liability for him.
Hmm.
And he's kind of almost like shit. Well, I feel like almost he is because of him deciding on the rape and bar thing to like act on that. He's almost too paranoid about it to the point of like that affects all the trouble that gives him affects directly his situation here.
Hmm.
Because I feel like if he had chosen the opposite choice for the rape pen bar thing, and then he encountered me, I feel like he actually wouldn't be at risk as much. Because he could just be like, yeah, it's a second death note. I have a justification of like, well, yeah, I'm the not talking. I am not like meaning publicly model, and he could even like shift the blame onto if things came out. You know?
Hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting because he's kind of like angling for like, yeah, no, you should absolutely kill L. Uh, but now he's got that new like liability to deal with because, and he's also having to like talk to his family, and it's interesting too because obviously he wasn't actually dating her, but the family's gonna have questions and he has to answer them.
Mhm.
So like they ask, and he's like, "Oh yeah, she's an up and coming model, so it would be problematic if people found out about it."
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because on the one hand, it's like a reasonable thing, but it's also like I feel like it's specifically something Light is saying because that way, because he's trying to like prime it for his little sister to not try to boast about like or gossip about her older brother's like girlfriend.
Hmm. Ugh. What point are we at in the episode? Sorry, I'm just like
We're like
really
halfway.
losing steam.
We're halfway through. That's what I'm trying to. We have 10 minutes left, and a minute of that is gonna be credits.
Um, yeah, I think I might just have to bail and let you finish it. I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm really just like fighting to stay awake kind of thing.
Here we. I understand.
Yeah, it's
Outside of that, I think the major things are. Maybe we can just run through the major events, and we're already
okay.
3 hours in. And I don't think
Yeah,
much happens. I think most of the stuff that happens in this episode is characters.
it's just more light and Misa drama. Like
Yeah, it.
light ruminates on how he needs to eliminate L as soon as possible, and then Mikasa jump scares him because she's like, "Oh, I just wanted to see you, meh, meh, meh."
Uh.
And Mikasa knows Light said to wait 2 weeks, but she couldn't wait any longer. It's like Light's like, "Oh, this is the first time I've ever been provoked to hit a woman," which is a very funny line. That line always makes you laugh. And then Light has been trailed again, and that's when the other guy's like, "Two girlfriends, huh? Hmm." And then Ryuk laughs at that 'cause he knows he's being followed again. And
Yeah.
And then Rem says when L asks Rem to kill Light,
Light
when
asks Rem to
Light
kill
asks
L.
Rem to kill L for him to make Mikasa happy, Ryuk laughs at that because he finds it funny. And then Rem says she'll do it, which shocks Light and makes uh Ryuk laugh even harder, and that's the end of the episode essentially.
Well, the other major thing, uh, is, and I think this is the thing that the episode is named after. So I think we can end it after we
Oh
do
yeah,
this.
L
Yeah,
tells Light that he considers him his best friend, which takes Light by surprise.
yeah. L considers him best friend,
His
and he's
first
like,
true and his
I,
first true friend at that.
yeah, it's the first true friend, best friend, and he's like, no, I still also think you're Kara.
Yeah, it's a funny little relationship the two of them have. We'll find out soon, maybe what friendship, a real friendship between those two could have looked like. And maybe that's potentially why people like Arc 2 so much because it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it kind of plays with the characters' relationship dynamic,
Hmm.
especially with uh, like having the whole like new element that, and then also like you also have that dynamic with L and A that was established of
Hmm.
it's
Yep.
very interesting. and obviously Light is being trailed again, but overall, I think that basically does cover the episode. There isn't that much more important here.
Yeah, it's all kind of set up for a next episode, which is the setup for the second arc. So
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do just these. Honestly, the 4 episodes would have been better, but these 3 episodes together because they're kind
the
of
transition from arc one to arc two,
yeah,
yeah.
they're the transition from arc 1 to arc 2. But it's also a it's also a case of we're both like done. So we're
Yeah.
at the 3 hour mark. This is probably I've already taken the next episode out of description. I believe I did it right.
Yeah.
Um,
Good job hosting tonight, Rangy. It's very low energy for me tonight. I don't know. I was like, I'm always kind of tired, but like today, I was just like low battery all day. I didn't much sleep last night.
I was barely functional myself.
I
Uh,
I mean, you didn't if you were, you didn't come across that way. You brought the energy,
I
so good job. Oh my
I'm a
God, that one
certified
slapped.
yapper. What can I?
Yeah. I usually am myself, but you usually outdo me. So
Yeah, to be fair, this is me low energy. I just talk a lot,
yeah.
but I think I say a lot less meaningful stuff. But yeah. Iron knows why I'm low energy today. I don't know why he's low energy today, but whatever. I'm not gonna pry. Uh, but we're both low energy enough. I don't think we can really like
You-
we can. I don't think
Rank.
we can genuinely cover the next episode. So thank you very much, chat, for watching up
Yeah.
till this point.
See ya.
See you,
Bye.
and
Toodaloo.
consider
Toodaloo.
subscribing, liking, and yeah, what Iron said.